Everyone says you can't buy anything for £100,000 anymore. Everyone says small holdings are out of reach. So I spent hours on Rightmove to see if that's actually true. And what I found might actually surprise you. Today we're scrolling through 4 properties, one in Wales, one in England, one in Scotland, and even one in Ireland, all around the £100,000 mark. Now, before you get excited, none of these are perfect. Some don't have planning, some need full renovation. One is basically Forestry with a derelict cottage, but every single one has potential to become a small holding if you're willing to think differently. Let's see what £100,000 actually buys you in 2026. So this is probably the most straightforward on paper. Previous planning for residential conversion, albeit some time ago. A half an acre isn't huge, so you need to be realistic about the kind of small holding this becomes. So the first property is located in West Wales, and it's on the market for £90,000. Now this is a little bit less land than I would normally share, but I just couldn't find anything for 100 grand. So this is half an acre. It comes with this former dairy, and it's kind of attached to another farm. Now it says in the listing that this was a farmhouse previously and has had planning in the past to convert to back to residential, but I can't envisage this being a farmhouse, but anyway, that's what they say. So yeah, this is the plot, and it comes with the dairy, and they're calling it a hay barn. So yeah, I'm just kind of tracing the outline of the half an acre plot here. So it's onto the road, and you can see the neighbours' farmhouses next door, and they've got some solar out in their field. So this is the inside of the former dairy. Again, I can't see how this was a farmhouse, but anyway, it's obviously very traditional dairy set up in there for a very small number of cows, with looks like a metal roof, but could be asbestos, so you've got to be careful of that as well. And yeah, this is to the side of the property where there's a bit of a lean-to, where you'd obviously create your access off of the road, and there's a small stream running alongside as well. So yeah, lovely little spot here. The location plan, or the site boundary plan, we'll just zoom in here a little bit, have a look at that. Again, nice size plot this, half an acre, and as you can see, it's kind of split down. I don't think it's a solid building, that the bit that it's separated from. It's kind of a lean-to the side, and the existing entrance to the farmhouse is there. Let's just have a look at what it says in the description here. So yeah, lapsed planning permission, I think it was some time ago, about half an acre, and it, let's just see what it says here. So, planning permission in 1988 to return to a residential dwelling. It looks nothing like a residential dwelling, but anyway, and is set in a nice location. It says that it's got water and electricity nearby, but not connected, so you'd have to apply for that yourself and get that connected up. And it says entrance to be permitted and created, so again, you might need to get that as part of any planning permission to create an access off the road. It's only 1.5 miles from the nearest community, so yeah, although it's a rural West Wales area, it's not entirely remote. We'll have a look at the plans, the location shortly. Yeah, and it's not far from, I think it's 8 miles from Lampeter, which is a bigger market town. And yeah, it keeps going on about this previous planning, but that was a long time ago, so there's probably no details of that available on the planning portals. So you'd have to make your own inquiries as to how realistic it is that you'll get planning to convert this back into residential. We'll have a quick look at the map, see where we are. Okay, so zooming out. So yeah, we're on the west coast, not far from, I think it's Abattoir. And yeah, we'll just zoom in here and see where we are. So yeah, that's that nearest town. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. There is a local pub not far away, and there's various glamping, camping sites around here. So you could even turn this into some kind of holiday let, even if you didn't want to live there yourself. And yeah, to be fair, the agents have located this on the map in the correct place, and that's your the site. Let's just have a quick look at the roadside. So yeah, this is the existing farmhouse that this is obviously being separated from, and this is the old dairy that's being sold. And then to the left hand side here, I guess, is where you create your entrance to your plot of land. I don't propose that or I don't suggest that they're proposing that's connected. So yeah, £90,000. It's on the market with Morgan Davis in their Lampeter office. Now this one is bold. A former abattoir in the middle of town. No planning yet, but early conversations with planners have apparently been positive. This is high risk, high reward. Let's have a look at the next one. So the next one is in England, and this is in Lincolnshire. And I've again had to be a little bit open to the suggestion this is a small holding. It is a 1 acre site. It's actually right in the middle of a housing estate, but it's a former abattoir in Horncastle, and it's on the market, let's say, for £100,000. So it's a potential small holding. There's definitely animals been here in the past, not just for the abattoir, and yeah, so it could be a little small holding, market garden. Oh, there you go. There's a sheep. So it's definitely. I'm definitely calling this a small holding potential. You have access here off of the residential street, and then you've got the old abattoir building to the left of this image, and then you've got a number of little fields that have been sectioned off. So this is the access driveway in. The gate on the left-hand side appears to be into one of the houses' adjacent garden. So you'd have to check what access they might or might not have over this roadway. And yeah, there's not many photos on this listing, but I managed to find the PDF, and that does actually have a land plan on it, which is really helpful, because I think this actually shows that this is a really decent sized plot. Again, in a residential area. They say that they've had conversations with the planning department in the past. I think they were trying to get a few houses on here, but they concluded that most likely is that you'll be able to get one dwelling permitted on here. Again, this was a few years ago. Things have changed. Government are encouraging housing development, so you might get more on this plot. But yeah, decent size, 1 acre plot in Horncastle. Let's just have a quick look. So yeah, 1 acre development opportunity, positive pre-application advice, but I think that was some time ago. I think that was maybe a couple of years ago. I think this has been on the market a while. So you'd have to make your own inquiries. Have a look where it's located. I didn't really know, to be honest, where Horncastle was, but yeah, it's in Lincolnshire. It's kind of halfway between Lincoln itself and Skegness. So yeah, not right out in the middle of nowhere. This is obviously right in the middle of a town, and you've got your Tesco supermarket just behind. So yeah, this is quite an unusual plot, this, and in this case the agent hasn't located it where the property is. It's actually up here. You can see this sort of larger green space in the middle of the housing estate. That's your 1 acre plot. So yeah, as I said, it's been on the market for a while. It's offers in a region, or offers in excess of £100,000, and it's on the market with Robert Bell and Company Limited in Horncastle. Really interesting opportunity, that, and yeah, not much else available in England for £100,000 that could be a small holding. And remember, this is still around the £100,000 mark. That's the same price as a tiny little flat somewhere in the UK. This might be the most livable option, but it needs the most work. The static caravan on site changes everything. So moving on to Scotland now. So again, this is offers in excess of £100,000. It's called a Croft's Cottage. I think it says it's one bedroom and one bathroom, but there's no photos internally, so I suspect it's probably gutted internally. It does say that it is wind and weather tight. Does appear to have a fairly decent roof to it. It's very low-lying, low-level, so yeah, you haven't got much height there to the sides. I guess that it's probably quite common in this sort of environment. It looks very exposed there. Yeah, and this is pretty far north in Scotland, and it's a 3-acre croft, and it comes with an existing caravan that's obviously already set up, got gas. Looks like it might have a log burner. There's a chimney on the top there. Not sure about electric. But yeah, it's pretty remote this. But yeah, it's really helpful to have your own caravan while you do up the cottage there. Not many photos again with this one, but yeah, it looks to be in a nice location. Doesn't seem to be that, you know, there are nearby other houses and buildings, so not entirely remote. Let's have a look at the description here. So yeah, 3 acres of croft land. We'll talk about what that means in a minute, because it's not exactly the same as freehold land. You need a complete renovation. It's wind and watertight, and it says there are services nearby. So yeah, you'll need to allow for connecting up any services, or turn this into an off-grid location. It's not that big, so you could probably get some solar and maybe wind turbine, create your own power and heat up here. That'd be really quite cool. It says it's not far from the A9, and there's nearby primary schools and shops. So again, it's not in the middle of nowhere, but it is pretty far north in Scotland. It's in Caithness. So we'll have a quick zoom out and see where we are on the North Sea coast. So John O'Groats at the top there. You've got Wick, and then these are the smaller little towns that it talked about having more amenities, shops and schools on the coast here. And then this is located a little bit sort of inland. I don't believe the agent has located this on the right property. Yeah, when you zoom in here, this doesn't look to be the same property. There's other buildings around it, so this may be the postcode, but yeah, I don't think this is the actual property. Have a quick look around and see if we can see where this actual building is. There's quite a few buildings in this area that look like they could be this small cottage. But yeah, for now, you just have to take my word for it that it's in this area, in this locale, I guess. Again, there's quite a few of these sort of small, long buildings. Maybe this is it. Maybe that looks like could be a caravan, and then it could be that's the little cottage there. But yeah, just to take my word for it, it's roughly in this area, pretty rural area, but lots of fields, and you've got your 3 acres of croft land there. It's on the market for offers in excess of £100,000 with Yvonne Fitzgerald Properties in Thurso. So just wanted to mention quickly crofting, because some of you may not be aware, but a croft is a relatively small piece of agricultural land that is effectively leasehold, and you have a tenancy on that, and you have certain responsibilities by law. So you've got a duty to be resident on the land or within 32 kilometres of the land. You've got a duty to not to neglect the croft, and a duty to cultivate and maintain the croft. This one just blows the acreage out of the water. over 15 acres near Sligo, but it's mostly forestry and the cottage is derelict. So moving on, so we've got a property here in Ireland, and I think this one is a real interesting prospect. So it's just over £100,000, it's 130,000 euros, but it is huge. It is 15.6 acres of forestry with this cottage, and it's in County Sligo in Ireland. But I think this looks really interesting. I'd love to have my own sort of woodland forestry, and yeah, it comes with an existing building. Yes, it's in a pretty poor state of repair, but look at that decent sized plot there, 6.35 hectares, little cottage there. You've got a road up to the top end of the plot. Apparently, there's an access road on the other end as well. And then on where the cottage is, it's not far from the boundary at the bottom here, which has like a little stream running, or a little river running along it as well. So yeah, I think there's access both ends of the plot. It's pretty overgrown around the cottage here, but you could create a beautiful little cottage here, your own little holiday home, or even live there, escape from the world and have an off-grid house here. There's other buildings and properties nearby, so yeah, not completely isolated, but yeah, stunning location in a fairly northern part of Ireland here. Great backdrops of the sort of rolling mountains, and you've got the little cottage there with its I think it's a galvanised roof. And yeah, so you've got the road at the top there. I was wondering where your access would be, but it says later on that there is an access road from the bottom. So it's obviously had like a lean-to, little outbuilding or a shed part to the cottage as well that could be reinstated. We're not that au fait with the planning rules in Ireland, but there's also potential here that you could get some grant funding to reinstate this property. So there are grants available for derelict properties. So yeah, definitely worth looking into that, because you could fund quite a bit of your building costs, I think, from that grant. So yeah, beautiful, stunning location here. And here's the sort of stream river at the bottom, and I think this is probably part of the access road that will get you into the property. Not clear from that photo whether that's at which end of the plot that is. But yeah, just have a quick look at a little bit more detail on this. So yeah, it says it's 8 miles northeast of Sligo town. So yeah, not too far away from a fairly decent sized town. It says there's access road on both ends. The access road on the riverside has become overgrown. It says a 3-roomed cottage. Again, there's no details, there's no floor plan, there's no internal photos, so you have to take their word for it, with a galvanised roof. And yeah, the nearby stream. So it says the cottage once had electricity which could be reconnected, fantastic, and understands as mains water to the plot. I don't know if that's to the cottage itself. And there is also some existing money coming in, as I read that, from the Forestry. Okay, so just zooming out a little bit to see where we are in Ireland. So we're not far from Northern Ireland here, but this is in County Sligo in Ireland. And yeah, if we kind of zoom in a little bit more, you'll be able to see where we are in relation to Sligo, just down there. And then we're off into the wilds, and yeah, obviously a forestry area. But what's great, you can really see the outline of the plot here, and actually you can see on the maps here, you can see this access road that goes all the way right into the cottage. So it's clearly been defined previously as an access road. And again, the agent's done a good job of locating the cottage with the marker there, so that's fantastic. Yeah, I really love the idea of this. Nice big plot, bit of forestry, bit of income there, and create your own little escape from the world. you know, little cabin there. Probably, you know, although it says it's got, you know, mains electric and water, they created an off-grid place here. But yeah, this is being filmed on the 17th of February, and the asking price is €130,000. It's on the market with McCarrick and Sons in Sligo. And I'll just add in, they've done a little video, so I'll add that into the video as well. I won't talk over that, but yeah, if you want to see a little bit more, watch the video. So, can you still buy land for around £100,000? Yes, but it won't be turnkey, it won't be polished, and it definitely won't be easy. Well, what you're really buying at this level is potential, and potential always requires vision. So which one would you take on? Wales, England, Scotland, or Ireland? Or does this prove that £100,000 still doesn't go far enough? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and share it with anyone dreaming of a countryside escape. Don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss any future dream smallholdings. You can find details of all the properties featured at smallholdingfarms.co.uk. There's a link on the channel page. See you in the next one.